Today I have for you 4 high-end decor using $1 hack items from the Dollar Tree. Let's get started. All right, for this DIY, we are going to start with one of these pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove everything from it, and then I am going to sand down some of that glittery stuff that is on there. Once I have it off, it doesn't have to be completely off because we're going to cover it, but I did dust it down, and I am going to spray it with these adhesive spray from the Dollar Tree. Then I'm going to take this fabric I got at Hobby Lobby, and I am going to place it right on top of the pumpkin and cut out the excess fabric. Then using my rotary cutter, I am going to trim the edges as close and as neat as possible so I have smooth edges. I am then going to take another pumpkin from the Dollar Tree, and this one has a wood finish, and we're going to stain it using Rust-Oleum chalked glaze. This is in their brown tone, and then we're going to let it dry. We are going to use a third pumpkin. This one's on the smaller side and it has like a 3D look. We are going to remove everything from it as well. And then we're going to use this Rust-Oleum milk paint in this beautiful mustard yellow color. And we're going to paint the inside of the pumpkin. So not the part that is sticking out, but the part that is underneath, the bottom part. And then we're going to paint the top part using Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the coastal blue. My friend, while I'm painting here, I do want to tell you about my friend Shannon, who has her own YouTube channel with tons of DIY decor. Today we have come together just to give each other a little shout out on each other's channels. So I am going to have her link down below in the description box. So when you're done here, check her channel out. She's going to have some fall DIY inspiration for you as well. And I can't wait for you to see what she made for you. Once everything was dry, I used my Cricut to cut out a stencil that says Happy Fall, y'all. And then we're just going to place it towards the bottom right side of the brown pumpkin. And then we're going to stencil it using Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white and using a makeup sponge. And now it's time to stack them up together using hot glue. So we're just going to place hot glue on the top portion of the bottom pumpkin and then place the brown pumpkin right on top. We're going to do the same thing for the top pumpkin. And then once we had all the pumpkins stacked, it's time to just add some embellishments to the top. We're going to take this burlap ribbon from burlapfabric.com. We're going to make a very simple bow here, tie it in the middle with some jute string, and then we're going to glue it as well as tie it to the top pumpkin. And then I'm just going to start adding some embellishments here and there with some berries and some pumpkins that I have from Dollar Tree as well as Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to add them underneath the bow as well as on top until I kind of like what I see. And we are just about done with this stack of pumpkins. And I gotta say, I think it's stunning. I think you can so find something like this at any boutique, any store out there. I love all the colors, the textures, and it's just beautiful. All right, so we are going to take this 2x2. It's kind of long right now, but we will be using my miter saw to cut it to the size that I need. And I'm thinking I am going to cut it, let's see, about a foot to 14 inches long. After I had the pieces cut, I actually ended up cutting one small piece of a 1x3. It's about a 1x3 by maybe about 5 inches long. This is going to be the base of what will be a little light post. Once I sanded it down, I am going to drill a hole right in the center of the smaller piece, as well as in the center of one of the ends of the 2x2. And then we're just going to screw in a screw on one side and then attach the longer piece to it until it's nicely tightened. And now I'm going to give everything 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. I am now going to take this jar from the Dollar Tree. You can find these all the time at the dollar store. And I am going to remove the lid, and then I'm going to drill a hole on the one side of the lid. And then I am going to screw in the lid on the top side of the post. This is because we are going to have the jar going to be like the little light post, like where the lights are going to be. Then I'm going to take these little fairy lights that I get on Amazon. They come 12 in a packet. They are very gentle, but they do look beautiful. They come 12 in a packet and I love them. I do have them on my Amazon store, which is linked down below. If you've never visited my Amazon store, I highly recommend you do that. I have a lot of my favorite items there and I'd love for you to visit it. So check it out. After I threaded the lights through the little hole that we drilled from the bottom up, then I'm going to place all the lights inside of the jar and then just screw in the lid right on it. Now we have like a little light post. I am going to drill a hole here in the center. This is only because I'm going to be using a pick from the Dollar Tree and I need something to kind of stick in this stick. You know what I'm talking about. Because this is a thin 2x2, I didn't have much room to play with. So I drilled that hole and you're going to see it here in a minute. I took 2 ribbons that I had here on hand. I got these, I want to say it was Dollar Tree as well. It's just a burlap one as well as a kind of like a zigzag striped one. And I'm going to tie it, just a simple kind of like tighten it. And then I'm going to hot glue it as well. And this is what I was talking about. I cut the excess pick on this pick and then I'm just going to put it right in there with some hot glue. That way it's going to stick on there and it's not going to be wobbly and it's kind of heavier, I guess. And I just didn't want the hot glue to not be sufficient. I did place a faux leather leaf from Hobby Lobby as well as a couple of, or one little pumpkin from a little basket or a little baggie of pumpkins that I got at Hobby Lobby, as well as these little acorns that I also got at Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to place them there, put everything kind of like how I like to see it. And then I'm just going to dovetail the ribbon so they look finished and nicely put together, I guess. And then that's it for this one. I think this one turned out so stinking cute. Now, I wish the light would be a little bit brighter. With the lights off, it does look bright, but I think maybe adding maybe 2 of the fairy lights would have been perfect. But overall, I'm very happy with how it turned out. For this next DIY, we are going to take 2 of this Dollar Tree puzzles from the kids section, and we are going to remove everything from it. And we're just going to, I'm not going to need the little puzzle pieces if you want to keep them for any other DIY, but in this case, I actually tossed them. I'm going to take a leftover painter sticks, and I'm going to just hot glue it to the center to kind of bind both pieces together, as well as 2 jumbo popsicle sticks. We're just going to hot glue them on each end, and this is just going to make it stronger. And then we're going to flip it over and we are going to give everything 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. However, I did forget to fill in the little crack in the middle with some spackle, so I did that after I gave the first coat, but really you should do it before, but it didn't matter. I filled it in using my fingers just like you see here, and then I am going to sand it smooth after the paint dries and then give it the second coat. While that dries, I am going to take this wooden leaf from the Dollar Tree. We're going to fill in the little hole using spackle, and then we're going to give it 2 coats of this Rust-Oleum milk paint in this beautiful mustard yellow. I did sand in between each coat because you can see a lot of the brush strokes. So I wanted to make sure you didn't see as many as possible. I am now going to freehand the word fall, but I'm actually just going to do the F and then double L. And I took an extra flower, or not flower, leaf that I had on hand as a guide because the other one is still drying. And then I'm just going to, again, just freehand it. Now, I'm not positive this is the look I was going for. In the end, I liked it, but I think maybe if I would have used my Cricut for more precise letters, I think it would have looked nicer. But overall, you know me. If you follow me, you know that I like to commit and stick with what my vision is. But nonetheless, let me know what you think in the comments. I did take some antiquing wax and a makeup sponge, and I just antiqued and distressed the edges just for a little bit more dimension. And then I'm just going to hot glue the leaf right in the center of the sign. The leaf is going to serve as our A. And then I did add some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree on the back of the sign. That way we can hang it from there. And let me tell you, again, I'm not completely sure about the letters, the style, but overall, I think it looks so good. I love the color combination. I love the leaf right there in the center, how it overlaps on the top and the bottom. And you know what I love? I love that this cost me about $3. And I think it's awesome. For this next DIY, it's going to be so fun and so easy. We're going to take 2 of these serving party bowls from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to take one of these lights from the Dollar Tree. They're little lighted pumpkins, and we're going to find the halfway point, add some clear tape, and then we're going to tape it to the inside of the second bowl. This is going to be, we're going to make a little clear lighted pumpkin. And so we're going to just add some hot glue on the rim, and then quickly, because it does dry pretty quickly, then quickly place the other half right on top. And it actually glued pretty strong. I like how the bond was actually very, very strong. And then once I had it where I wanted, I went outside and I found this piece of wood. I cut a piece off of it. And I'm going to use super glue E6000 as well as hot glue, because I didn't know how strong it was gonna hold with just hot glue, but it's still holding, so I guess it worked. The combination of all 3 apparently. So after I had a hot glue right in the center, I'm gonna take more of those 2 ribbons that I used earlier. And again, we're just gonna double it up, and we're gonna make very simple bows using both ribbons. We're gonna tie it in the center with some jute string. And then once it's tied, I am going to both hot glue and tie around the big stem there, that wooden stem. And that way it's going to be secure, not only with the hot glue, but it's also going to have it tied on the back. And now again, we're just going to kind of finish or angle the cuts here on the bow just so that it look finished. And then we're going to start adding some embellishments here and there. We're going to take another one of those faux leather leaves from Hobby Lobby, hot glue it to the left side of the bow, right underneath the bow. I'm also going to add one of these pine cones from Hobby Lobby, but you can get these at the Dollar Tree as well. And then another one of those little acorns right there on the other side. And that's it. Look how stinking cute this look. It has like a rustic glam kind of look to it. I don't think I've ever seen anything done like this before, and I'm just so happy with the way it turned out. If I had to choose one of my favorites, it would have to be the light post. But man, it hurts because I really like this pumpkin. I don't know. You tell me which one is your favorite. So this is it for today, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by. If this is your first time visiting, I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you consider joining our YouTube family. And if you are returning, as always, thank you so much for watching. I am going to have a playlist here with tons more of inspiration for you. Don't forget to check out Shannon's DIYs down in the description box. You're going to love the creations that she has for you. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.